Every time I watch that, it makes me happy. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Random Encounters Guild. On a Monday night, we are beginning our run of Symbaroum, the Copper Crown. We're running the Promised Land. Last time we were together, we did character creation, kind of a session 0, and we got the story started. And they got to we just got kind of into the story and set the story up. They're trying to get across the Titans mountains north into the new lands, because down here in the south of the Titans, everything is barren and wasteland. So they're trying to get across the mountain pass before the winter comes and closes the pass off.
What do you mean new lands, colonizer?
Well, yeah, okay. I'm just the GM. Yeah, it's okay. But they heard tale. They were sitting around the campfire, and they heard of a one last caravan that the driver is actually going to attempt one last trip. He thinks he can make it before winter hits. Everyone else is kind of dropping off. Everyone else is saying we're done until spring. But Argasto is, you heard whispers of this Argasto who is going to take one last trip north. So you went to his tent. You followed a couple of dudes you met around the campfire to his tent, and apparently they had worked for him before. And you met with him, and he seemed interested, but he also wanted you to prove yourselves. So he wants you to fight with a few of his guards. It is not a death match. It is just first blood. So what that means mechanically is 1 point of damage taken, you're out. And there's no lethal force. At least the guards aren't going to be using lethal force. Whether you guys do or not is up to you, but it may not be the best idea. But so everybody, you kind of come out of Argasto's tent, and there's a big, huge fire raging, and you guys kind of gather up. Oh, and by the way, well, before we jump in, let's do some quick introductions. I'm Guildmaster Scott. I run things over here at the Random Encounters Guild, and I play whenever I get the chance, which has been more often lately. I've been playing a lot of Blades in the Dark. We have our Blades in the Dark game on Tuesday night, and then we did a one-shot of Blade 68 last week, which was the most fun, and we're definitely bringing it back. We're already talking about doing some kind of a season of it, because everybody involved had a blast. So we're probably going to wind up doing more of that as well. But yeah, I GM a lot of games over here. If you would like to join us, by the way, there's a link to our Discord server. Feel free to join if you want to jump into a new game, or if you want to try GMing a new game. We love having new GMs come in. The GM running Blade 68 is a new GM. He heard about this expansion and wanted to try it, so he jumped in and did a fantastic job. He is the guy, Brandon. He is the guy that made the REG special presentation graphic at the beginning of the show. So that is me. Let's go to Chad. This way, Chad.
I'm Chad. I'm playing Varric. I've been with the Random Encounters Guild for, I guess it's been a couple of years now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got much else to say other than that.
Well, yeah, that's good enough. Let's go to Tim.
I am Tim. I'm playing Velcor Ailorath. I was one of the founding members of the REG and played some old school Dungeons and Dragons with Scott way back in the 90s, I guess it was, early 90s. And just looking forward to getting back into the world of Symbaroum.
And Davery.
Hey, I'm Davery. I like Chad. I have been a member of the Random Encounters Guild for a couple of years now, and not new to role playing, but pretty new to Symbaroum. So I'm looking forward to getting a chance to try out a new system.
And speaking of that, we're all new to Symbaroum. I ran the starter set in text format. Never run it, live with like this. So we're all pretty new. But we've all been playing for a minute. So we know our way around role-playing games. So we ought to be able to figure this out. Although Symbaroum is a very different game, the mechanic of this is different, and the way the book is laid out is different. It's like they purposefully went, it's not what you think it's going to be. And before we get started, I wanted to, we'll just address the elephant in the room. Kevin is not with us. He is not going to be able to join us. He came down with a horrible case of adult, and he has to take care of some family stuff on Monday nights. And so he is not going to be able to join us going forward. So we're just going to move forward with these three. And if we pick up somebody else along the way, we will. Or if something changes and Kevin can come in, I will work him into the story. As anybody that's been around the guild knows, Kevin is my right hand. And so I will break this game if I get to bring him in at some point. He's probably watching this tomorrow morning on YouTube. Hey, Kevin.
We can retcon that a 10-foot tall troll has been walking with us the entire time, and no one's noticed.
He's just very sneaky, very sneaky. Or you get across the mountains and you meet him in the north. I mean, there's plenty of options. We got things that we can. If it happens that he can come in, or if we bring in another player, we can always work them in that way. Okay, so where we left off last time is you guys were standing at this campfire, or this large bonfire, and Argasto is wanting you to prove yourselves in combat. And this is as I said, this is first blood. It's not a lethal combat. It is meant to be he just wants to see what you can do. So as I said, mechanically that means 1 hit point lost and you're out. So I have a map. This map seems to be a little tight. The wagons are like corralled around, and so just kind of ignore the wagons, because if you stay within these wagons, there's not enough room to really move around. So let me share that with you now. So he waves over. He kind of snaps his finger and waves, and these 4 guards come walking up, and they're kind of smiling and cracking their knuckles. They know the drill. This is not new to them. Argasto likes to do this every time they go out on a caravan. So They know what's happening, and he makes the big speech, the announcement of it's not lethal, first blood. Do me a favor, make sure you can move your token.
Yes.
Okay. I thought you should be able to, but I wanted to make sure. Now, I just dragged you in and dropped you, so you can put yourself wherever you want to be. These 4 guards, this is where they're at. So you can, but I'm not gonna steer your character. You can put yourself wherever you want to be, and we will jump in.
I'll be over here, which looks like with a bunch of ale barrels. Yeah, where you put us looks good.
Okay. All right, and so the way Symbaroum works is initiative is not rolled. Initiative is your quick. Whoever has the highest quick goes first, unless you choose not to. So the person in your group that has the highest quick is Varric. You can go first, or you can say, I want to go after the guards, or I want to go after Valcor, or I want to go after Torvor. But once you make that move, that's where you're at for the rest of the combat. So as it stands right now, like if you click on the combat tracker up at the very top, you'll be able to see the order. So it's Varric, Velcor, then the 4 guards, then Torvor. So Varric, would you like to go first, or would you like to move yourself and lock yourself into initiative?
No, Varric is. So Varric sort of kind of lazily twirls his spear, and since it's a long weapon, he actually gets a free attack with it at the beginning of the round, assuming that the enemies don't have a long weapon.
They have, I believe they have swords, but they have swords, but they're not coming up, seeing as how this is a non-lethal thing. They're not drawing swords. They're just they're going to come at you fist, but you start swinging spears and they'll probably draw swords. But, but at the moment, their swords are sheathed. So,
and there were no terms given other than first blood. So Varric's going to strike the guard down here, to guard 2, with the butt of his spear. He's not going to stab him, but he's going to kind of crack his teeth with the haft.
All right. And do you use something specific other than accurate for that?
Nope. I have a 15 accurate, so I am more than happy to use accurate.
And what about, are you taking any negatives for your armor or anything?
Armor, let's see. Yeah, armor is impeding, but that's only affects quick, not
okay.
Not accurate.
So it's you're going to do accurate -3 for their defense.
Given that that's a 2, I think I probably made it.
Yeah, if you rolled below your accurate -3, then that is a hit. And I'm not 100% sure. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not 100% sure how damage is.
Well, typically I believe you roll damage and then you'd subtract their armor. I think NPCs just have a straight armor value, but don't quote me on that.
victim's toughness and a damage lowers the victim's toughness, and a creature dies when its toughness reaches 0, unless it's a player character, in which case he or she is regarded as being dying instead.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just looking to ring his bell, not, obviously.
Yeah.
Actually hurt him.
I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something. There's not a. You added in his defense in your attack, and it was successful. So, yeah, I'm gonna say whatever that. And you're not stabbing him, trying to. Like you said, you're just cracking him in the mouth.
Yeah, basically, you the blunt end and just kind of smacking him with it.
Yeah, if you don't get his lip, you get his nose. Either way, he's bleeding, and he is out. So he kind of stumbles off away from the fire, and that brings us to Velcro.
All right, Velcor is going to begin with a feint. I roll discreet to see if I can get that working.
Discreet +2 if you're using a short weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have feint also, so I know the rules for that.
So my discreet is a 12. You said it's +2, or I add 2 to my
You add 2 to what so you need to go below a 14.
Okay. Well, I was below a 12, so I get the feint, and then I'm going to go with a backstab, and I'm just looking to give him a scar. But
okay.
I get
which one on? I assume 1.
Yeah. I'll step. Well,
you can move. That's that's part of your combat action is you can move. So.
Yeah, I go up. He thinks I'm going left. I go right, and then I swing around with the backstab. And
so it's going to be -3. Whatever your quick is, or no, you're accurate.
Well, yeah, I get to use discreet, which.
Okay, well, it's -3. Whatever it is you're using, it's -3.
Well, I got a 6, and my -3 would be a 10 for my discreet. So I give him a little scar, just like right behind the ear, and as I swing around behind him, I go, "Chicks dig scars."
Yeah, you kind of jump over and kind of you don't, like you say, you're not stabbing, not lethal. You just give him a little nick, and he reaches up and he starts cursing, and it's like, man. And Argasto, you hear Argasto laughing, and so he kind of stumbles off away from the bonfire and the fight as well. That one is number 2. We'll take him out. Okay, so now it is number 3's turn. Do what?
I said, good luck, Torvar.
What is happening? Oh, I'm clicking the wrong hotkey. So, Varric, you're the bigger. Well, that doesn't make sense. Number 3 will attack Torvar. He will come up and, like I said, no sword. He's just gonna swing his fist. So you need to. It's quick, isn't it?
Is it my defense?
Oh yeah, it's your defense. It's your defense +3.
Okay. So I add 3 to my defense, and then roll against that.
No, it's under. Yeah, it's negative. Take 3 away from your defense, and you have to
and
roll
what is
under
defense?
that. Yeah.
Normally.
So whatever your defense is, -3, and then you roll under that.
And like I said, like, what is defense normally? Because
Okay.
the sheet had issues recording.
It's your quick minus anything like impeding from your armor.
Okay. So it's just my quick -3. Ooh.
I believe so. I can double check.
Yeah, because armor just absorbs damage. It doesn't provide defense. And I think your shield, however, provides defense. So
Yeah, my shield is +2, but I think the impeding is 2.
if you've got impeding armor, then yeah.
Unless Scott would be cool with agreeing that I took the armor off for this fight because there's not much point in it.
If you want to say you took your armor off, that's
Yeah, there's not much point in fighting in armor if this is just a not duel to the death, just a standard brawl. Which, if that's the case, that would be great because that would be exactly what I rolled. I would need a 6, and I got a 6.
Yee.
well. I've got the guards.
Yeah, until I can get one new feat or talent or whatever they're called, my defense is pretty low. That's my first purchase, is increasing that.
Actually, my defense is actually higher than the sheet has my defense wrong. It has my defense is 8 for some reason.
It has my defense is like 0. Like
Yeah.
I was like, there are some
mine at
serious
11.
issues with it.
Yeah, mine should be 11, but it with my armor penalty. But for some reason, it's got it listed as 8. I need to fix that. Whoop. Wrong button.
That's 60, not 106.
But yeah, definitely keep the shield up because that's same thing. The armor doesn't help, but if they're gonna throw a fist at me, I'm gonna stick a big piece of wood in between me and them.
I'm not seeing, like, we'll go with what Chad is saying right now. We'll just use your quick for now.
All right.
Unless I find, oh no, defense is quick minus armor's impeding value.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, we had it right, and like I said, I just made that. So yeah, so he swings that punch.
So
Like I said, I bring that shield up. I bring
Okay,
that shield
so
up,
you
he
went
punches
below
I'm like,
that
yeah, I made it. So I'll lean over and go, hurts, don't
with
it?
the -3.
With the -3, yes.
Okay,
Like I said.
cool. So yeah, he comes in and goes to swing, and you just throw your shield up, Captain America style, and he hits it, and like it doesn't draw blood, of course, but it hurt. It sucks, like he may have jammed a finger. Okay, number 4 is going to you know what? I always do this. I always used to back in the day. Odds, we're going to say, are Varric. Even, we're going to say, is Velcor. Even, it's Velcor. He's going to run over and take a swing at Velcor.
All right, so I'm rolling my
So
defense.
that'll be your quick or your defense -3.
-3?
Yes, you want to go below what you roll. So whatever your defense is, take 3 away from that and then roll below that.
Yikes.
That's taking it. Basically, since the GM doesn't roll, that is
Yeah.
accounting for the enemy's accuracy.
Weird, weird for
It narrows the window.
players to roll against their own defense. It feels like that would be what the GM would.
Yep, that's a hit.
All right.
Did I roll my armor
Yeah.
against the damage? Glad I got first blood, I guess. Need a light over my dice. That would be a 3.
Well, see, that's armor. I don't know that. I mean, technically, mechanically, it should probably go into it, but he wasn't trying to hit you in the chest or anything. He was trying to hit you in the face. Are you wearing a helmet of any kind or something like that?
No, I've got light armor, woven silk.
I'm gonna nerd out and be like, well, was he trying to make a called shot? Does he suffer a penalty?
Yeah, in this case, I'm gonna say, yeah, he just runs over and just like punches you in the nose, and you're out. And so that brings us to Torval.
Torvar, mighty.
Got this guy just came running over and took a swing at you.
All right. Well, much like my friend Velcor, I have feint. So instead of using accurate, I am going to use my discreet, because I'm using a short weapon of, thunder and lightning here. I'm going to have a +2, and so that's
so you take 3 away for their defense.
Yeah, total of 13 minus 3, which would be there. So it'd be a 10. So 50 shot. That is a 1, baby. Do we do crits in this game?
I don't think it's a natural part of the game. I don't think it's in the rules, but I like having it in there. So yeah, we're gonna say you actually do like what are you're just punching him?
Yeah, so I bring the shield up in kind of like a feint, just kind of like thrusted it at him to make him stagger back, and then just sucker him with an upper punch.
TKO.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, you actually break his nose.
Oh.
Like you don't just punch him and get blood. You actually break his nose, and he goes, oh God! And he moves his hand, and there's blood just running down his chin, and yeah, he stumbles off into the darkness. And again, you hear Argasto just cackling. He thinks this is brilliant. And that brings us back to Varric. There's only one guy left.
All right. Well, while this guy's still facing after Velcor in the chaos, I'm gonna try and smack him in the back with the haft of my spear. So that's
yeah, it'll be a -3.
Yeah. That is a 7. So, yep.
Under
-3 would be 12. So.
Under 12. Okay. As what you're gonna clip him in the ear or something?
Yeah, I'm just gonna smack him in the back of the head with the butt of the spear.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. You kind of get him and knock him forward because he was watching Velcor kind of stumble off after getting hit, and so yeah, you got him. He is also out of the combat, and so with that, Argasto kind of walks back into the light of the fire, and as I said, he's just laughing. He thinks this is great. He got a big big belly, and he's just like when he laughs, it just comes from deep down inside of him. And he says, "Okay, my friends, okay, let's. There's no need for any further fighting. You have succeeded. The three of you are welcome in my caravan. Good job. We leave at first light."
Yeah. Stick my hand out, shake his hand, say, "Thank you, Master Augusto. Looking forward to traveling with you." I actually want to wander off and find that guard whose nose I accidentally broke.
Accidentally.
You can do that. Yeah, he's around like that. Like I said, when we started this, like it was just a series of tents and wagons and campfires and stuff. So it wouldn't take much for you to go find him if you want to do that.
Yeah, I do. I want to go over and like grab a couple of mugs of ale and bring one to him and say, "Hey, I'm sorry for hitting you harder than I thought. You kind of charged in faster and surprised me. I tell you what, I'm a healer in my people. Let me see if I can't set that up for you real quick."
And yeah, he's very appreciative. "Oh, that's okay, man. This happens. This is not the first time my nose has been broken. Augusto always puts us in these situations, and we wind up, sooner or later you get your nose broken. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, if you've got some healing, yeah, I wouldn't say no. Maybe you would even set it better than the last guy did, and it wouldn't have this crook in it right here at the top."
All right, let me see what I can do, and I'll grab a hold of it. But I've got lay on hands as my witch power.
All right. And you don't? Does that? Do you have to deal with corruption with that?
I do. I think I was going to ask you. This was a good opportunity to use this and learn the rules for it.
All right.
Am I right that I have to roll a D4 and I take that much temporary corruption, but it will go away at the end of the scene?
Yeah, temporary corruption goes away at the end of the scene. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I can heal 1d6 points of damage, which, and then yeah, like I said, I'll get like a D4 corruption, but then I just won't cast any more magic for this scene, so it should be fine. I healed 4, took 2.
All right. And what is your corruption threshold?
8. Because
okay.
my resolute is 15.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent. So yeah, he's super appreciative, and like he's gonna be on the road with you when you guys head out in the morning. So yeah, I would say if nothing else, you've made he at least respects you and is appreciative, and maybe feels like he owes you one.
Better that than somebody who I'm sleeping next to who's mad at me.
Varric and Valcor, anything you guys want to do before you bed down for the evening?
I mean, I assume at this point probably it's, I don't know, dinner or whatever. Varric is going to head out and see if he can use his bushcraft. Again, good opportunity to mess with some of the rules. And just see if he can come back with like a brace of rabbits for everybody. Get some fresh game. As essentially as sort of peace offering. I didn't break anybody's nose necessarily, but I was responsible for taking out 2 of them. So, but that's a vigilant test to feed a small group.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you just want to roll below your vigilant. I'm not giving you a modifier, so just roll below whatever you got in vigilant.
6. So yeah, Varric just heads out and snares a handful of rabbits. Dresses them up and brings them back for everybody for dinner that evening before we all settle down.
Okay. Belcor?
Velcor makes his way over to the guy that he gave a scar to, and just like, he starts off with, sorry if that was a little too much. I get a little anxious in situations like that. And as he's doing that, he's going to take on the appearance of the guy along with the scar with his shapeshifter ability. And that is Resolute Test. And he doesn't do a very good job. Gets a little bit of a scar there, but the facial features still remain the same. And the guy's like, "What? What?"
Now, do you take temporary corruption for that?
No, this isn't a magical.
Okay, yeah, it's just
a
a racial ability.
right.
Okay,
It's technically a trait rather than an ability.
Reminds me, I just double checked.
Well, yeah, he's not necessarily impressed, but he does appreciate that you tried. And like, if you show him the scar, like that's the one thing that kind of came through, and he can see what it looks like. It's not that bad. And so he just kind of, okay, yeah, you didn't give me that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was. Thanks. And about that time, Varric comes back with a handful of rabbits for Argosto's crew, the people who have made the cut and are going into the mountains with Argosto. You've got Keller and Telk. There's several people about. There's a few of these guards that you guys got to get into it with. There is what is his name? Keller and Telk are like they're just kind of like mule hands. They're just like they're to do the dirty work more than anything. They're not there for defense or anything like that. But yeah, there's a small group of travelers that are getting ready to go, and is there anything else you guys want to do before you bed down for the night, or is that it for you?
That's it for me. I will say, once Tim said that, it reminded me, I was supposed to do a resolute test for that magic. I'm supposed to do one of those each time I cast a spell. So.
Okay.
Got to keep me honest next time.
Yeah, we'll know going forward. And that's on me. I just, as I said, I've got kind of, as much as I love this setting and this game, the way things work is still kind of confusing for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that I need to work on as well. I'll do my best to remind you when that something like that comes up. So, Valcor and Varric, anything you guys want to do before crashing for the evening?
Nope, I don't think so.
Like I said, it's going to be an early morning. You're expected to be ready to go at first light.
So only 2 mugs of ale and not 5.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Varric is pretty well used to that from his time with the elves, so he just sort of wraps himself in a cloak, settles down next to one of the wagons out of the wind, and
Velcor has been on his own for the past 10 years or so, and so he kind of finds a quiet spot, and he's a light sleeper, so he just kind of gets over in an area away from everybody where he can hear and goes to sleep lightly.
Well, okay then. Yeah, you guys sleep there. It's pretty uneventful. The fire Argosto's fire stays lit. It was a big enough fire that it's you don't have to worry about tending it, getting up and tending it through the night like some of the other uh, camps. But yeah, it's an uneventful night. It passes, and you guys wake up just before dawn. Maybe 20 minutes before dawn, and start packing up your gear and getting ready to go. So that means, Daver, your temporary corruption is gone. You're back at 0 there.
All right.
And like, yeah, you guys get up and start packing, and Argosto is walking back and forth with all of his wagons and everything. He's got to check every rope and get the guards, and he looks at this one guard that Torvar broke his nose, and he like looks at it. He's like, it looks like nothing happened. What did you do?
Mm-hmm.
What's happening? And he goes, oh, the Torvar fixed it. The guy that broke it came and he handed me an ale, and then he healed it. And it's better than it was before it ever got broken the first time. It's awesome. And
you weren't snoring last night.
yeah, fix that deviated septum.
You can start your plastic surgery practice when we get to Avatar.
I can do the before and after.
Yes.
And so yeah, everybody's running around, and like I said, there's a bunch of people like begging, please take us with you, please. And Argosto was like, I'm sorry, I can't. We can't travel with this many people. It's gotta be there's only so many people I can carry. We've got to feed people. You've got to feed people and keep them safe. We can't take everybody with us. You have to wait till spring. I apologize. I'm sorry. I wish you the best. Prios guidance be upon you. I hope you're safe through the winter. But this is my crew. This is set. This is where what we've got to do. Do any of you, like, before you hit the road, is there anything anybody wants to do? Do you want to talk to anybody or anything? Or you just want to get going?
I mean, Varric is sympathetic to the people that are being left behind, but
Yeah.
there's only so much that he can do, and their timing was poor.
Yeah, I was kind of debating if Torvar could do something like, because I also have bushcraft, and so I was wondering if like he could give some of these people like advice, be like, look, you have to wait until spring, but in the foothills, look for these signs. You might be able to like scrounge food, like small game or edible plants or something like that. At least try and give them some advice, if nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be able to take them out and go hunting with them and kind of educate them, but you could at least give them some pointers on what to look for. Yeah. And I if he wants to, Varric could do much the same. He's proven himself a solid hunter. If I'm not playing your character though, Chad, if you want to do that, that's on you.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if Varric's been kind of helping around camp, but if he sees Torvar do it, he's like, that's not a bad idea. It's like, hey, you can, look for this. This is what this plant looks like right now. It has these yellow flowers, but during the winter they go away. But if you dig it up, that you can eat the tuber, and
if mushrooms look like this, for the love of God, don't eat them.
Yeah, do not eat this berry. Just trust me on this one.
Velcor is a little different. Like I said, he was left behind by his family, and he survived with no help from anyone. And he understands, and there's that little twinge of pity for them, but he's like, in his mind, it's more of, if they're strong enough, they'll survive. If not, they shouldn't. But he understands why these guys would go and help them, but he's been on his own for so long that he doesn't have quite as much pity.
Yeah. And I mean, and Augusto notices what you guys are doing, and he kind of nods approval, like, okay, I've got some good guys. It's showing your character a little bit. But yeah, once the caravan is packed up, you hit the trail and start making your way north through the Titans. Now, his condition for you joining his group was that you would pull your weight. If that means defending the caravan or working in some other fashion. Nobody rides for free. I'm not gonna go through the rest of that saying, but
I was like, I'll collect grass.
I am not pretty enough for the last part of that chain, so
but so what do you think? Are you just kind of walking with the caravan and keeping watch? Or are you maybe focused on other things? What are each of you? What do you think of as your job in the caravan?
Varric, I figure, is probably ranging ahead.
Okay.
Making sure that the way is clear, keeping an eye out for any sort of predators or abominations or anything that he knows might potentially dwell in the mountains that might be looking to prey on stragglers or whatnot. Since he has beast lore and bushcraft, he's kind of basically acting as a scout and outrider, and just sort of making sure that things are kind of clear around the caravan, and if he can spot anything before it happens.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What about Torvar and Velcor?
So Torvar is hanging out with the wagons, is kind of just walking alongside them and keeping an eye out if I can scrounge any herbs or anything that I can use as alchemical reagents. I'm trying to do that. The focus being like the poultice, I think, the little like 1-point healer thing that you can do, like trying to make some of those like when we're resting at night, just in case like somebody gets injured or something happens to
frostbite.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, give me I think that would be vigilance. Give me a vigilance roll.
Okay.
No modifier, just below 11.
Below 11, I got a 4.
Okay, yeah, as you're walking, like, you will kind of, maybe 1 or 2 times you get a little further off the trail than you realized. And one of the guards or Gasto will go, "Hey, whoa, where are you headed?" And like you'll run over and grab some herbs or some whatever it is, the ingredients you're looking for. Something caught your eye and you run off the trail. And at this point you may be getting, like ankle deep in snow. It's coming. But you managed to collect a few herbs, and you're going to be able to create a couple of, I'll say 2.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to roll.
You're just determined to roll something, aren't you, Scott?
Oh yeah, it's killing me. It's eating me alive. You find enough ingredients for 2 poultices.
All right, and again, I think I need to make a cunning check. Yes, I make cunning checks for alchemy.
Okay.
Oh, it just says with a successful roll against cunning, the character can gather herbs and minerals to create 1 dose of an elixir. So.
Oh, okay. So I shouldn't have made you roll vigilance. So yeah, go against. What did you roll?
Yeah, I rolled a 4. My cunning is higher than my vigilance, so.
Okay. Yeah, you're good. Either way, you're good. So yeah, you got enough for 2.
All right.
Velcor,
so yeah, I'll just explain that to our guy. So I'll be like, somebody gets hurt, we can put this on there, and it should staunch any bleeding and accelerate healing.
Velcor, he's kind of sizing up the wagon train, I guess you could say, and it's obviously most everybody is pretty well suited, but he looks for any of the wagons that might have families, maybe more kids than adults, and he doesn't get close to it, but he stays nearby just in case trouble comes up. He can help protect.
Okay.
We know the truth, Changeling. You want to steal those babies.
Keeping an eye out for trouble and.
Yeah, and just staying closer to maybe some folks that wouldn't be as adept in defending themselves as some of the others.
Yeah. And I mean, you all know, if you don't know, Argosto or the guards have told you, like, there's bandits about. Like, it's not like you're just gonna. It's not like the weather is the only thing you have to worry about. There are, bandits that may try to take advantage of one last group, deep in the snow. So yeah, you've left camp and the journey north has begun. The landscape is still forested. Often so densely that you can't see more than trees and the wobbling wagons on the road ahead. Journey goes slowly upwards, winding between wooded hills and shallow canyons. At times, the wagons reach a crest from where towering mountains can be seen further north. The sun shines from a clear blue skies, as if the sun god Prios has heard the travelers' prayers for good weather conditions. Even Argosto seems at ease. The lawgiver's face smiles warmly over this pass. That bodes well, my friends. And so yeah, it's pretty good spirits all around. Everybody seems to have, pretty good feeling about this trip. As dusk begins to fall, Argosto, calls for a halt, and this is where we're going to stop and make camp for the night. And you bring the wagons in and form a corral, and much like that map we used for the combat, you bring the wagons into a circle as a means of protection. You have an Ordo Magica novice traveling with you. His name is Bartolom. And maybe Torvar has spoken with him as you've traveled over the day, or maybe all three of you have. I don't know. He wasn't marching on foot. I'll say that. He was riding in one of the wagons, but he's also an approachable chap. He's not standoffish in any way, but once the corral is made and everybody's setting up camp and somebody is starting a fire, maybe Varric is building a fire, or somebody else is building the fire and they ask Varric to go hunt since he seems to be so good at it. But Bartolom kind of waves at Argosto and he says, I've got to go wash this road dust off of me. I can't sleep with this. I feel filthy. And he says, I hear a nearby stream. I'm going to go wash myself. And Argosto goes, okay, be careful. Don't go running off. Go jump in the creek and come back. And so Bartolom kind of wanders off. Anything in particular you guys want to do as you're setting up camp for the night and getting ready to?
Well, I was going to ask you as an opportunity to again start playing around with the rules while we're in low stakes. If Varric is out hunting, like I said, Torvar also has bushcraft. Are there any rules for like aid another? Can we say like the two of us are together and I give him a +2 or he gives me a +2, whoever's got the higher vigilance? Or... something like that. Like I don't know if they have Symbaroum has 8 and other rules or teamwork.
I don't think it does.
The +2, the reason I was going for that is like reading through the feint rules. That is when you give someone advantage. It gives them a +2 to their attribute. So I was like, oh, that seems like a decent.
I don't see assistance or aid in here, so I'm gonna say it doesn't.
Okay.
But I kind of like it. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do it. But I think a +2 is a little much, so we'll go with a +1.
Okay.
Considering it's not in the rules, but if you're assisting and using bushcraft and kind of hunting with them, then yeah, we'll give whoever has the highest roll, you'll get a +1 to it.
Yeah, my vigilance 11. I don't know about
my vigilance 11.
Hey. So 6 of one, half dozen the other.
All right, you go ahead and roll. Take a +1.
All right. Yeah, since with Torvar's help, he's Varric can go a little bit larger. See if he can maybe bring down a reindeer or something a little bit bigger than he might normally try and haul back on his own.
Yeah, like one of us could try and flush the deer to the other one who's like lying in ambush or something.
I rolled exactly an 11, so that is a success.
Yep, that is a success. Yeah, I'll say you get a deer, and of course you know how to dress it and skin it in the field and everything, and Torvar and Varric come walking back into camp, and again everybody is flabbergasted at Varric's apparent, he's like a beast whisperer or something. He seems to know where the game is at and how to get it. Valcor, anything going on with you while you're setting up camp? Anything you want to be focusing on?
He is just helping wherever he can, get the animals secured, fed, rubbed down, setting up tarps and things of that nature, getting fires started, just keeping himself busy around camp.
Okay, excellent. And so you guys, the fire is built. You got a nice fire going in the middle of the corral. The mules and the horses have been tended, and the smell of cooking venison fills the air, and it's a very welcome scent. Most of the time on these trips, they're eating, maybe rations or jerky of some kind. It's pretty rare that. And Argosto will tell you, this doesn't happen all the time. We don't get fresh meat very often. As we get further into the mountains, it's probably going to be more and more rare. You're going to have a harder time, or at least I believe you'll have a harder time catching something. But apparently, you're on top of that. So I thank you. This is fabulous. Thank you for you fed the entire camp. Possibly. If everybody controls their appetite, you may have fed them tomorrow as well. I don't think that all of us could eat an entire deer all at one setting.
Well, keeping spirits high is every bit as important as keeping their bellies full.
Oh, you're correct there, sir. And as you guys are like the venison is cooking over the fire, and you guys are kind of maybe somebody has opened one of those kegs of ale. And you off to the east, you hear a voice crying out. Thieves! Thieves! Sounds a little bit like Bertolo.
I was gonna say that's gonna be our wandering priest, isn't it?
Our intrepid priest.
What would you guys like to do with this information?
Well, Varric is going to roll to his feet and head off to that side of the camp and see if he can spot Bartholomew. When he's heading back toward
you all can hear the creek that he was talking about. It's kind of been running parallel with the trail, but it is a way off. But you all can hear it, so you know the general direction he went, and where in the you have an idea of where he would be, and he's screaming like a banshee, so it's easy enough to follow his voice. So
well, if nothing else, Varric will head that direction, because all that yelling and screaming is not going to attract friendly attention out here in the mountains.
Yeah, so I'll head that way also.
And Velcor as well.
All right, you guys make your way down to the creek, and Baltros is standing there, buck naked, shivering, and he has his robes. Why he's not wearing them is a mystery. He's got them; they're in his hands, and he's just like he's digging through them, like going through pockets and shaking them, and again screaming thieves, thieves, and just going all through his robes trying to find something.
The robes work better on you, priest.
Friend, this is no time of year to be performing ritual skyclad. What are you looking for?
While I was bathing, someone sneaked up and took the sunstone out of my robes. We can't make this trip without the sunstone. That's going to be, once the weather hits, that's going to be the only thing that keeps us alive, and keeps us warm.
I'll lean over to Velcor and be like, I feel like we can. What is a sunstone?
I feel like you're
it is actually a stone that has been in the order of Prios. It has been blessed by Prios, and it radiates heat. And it is vitally important. It is a very real, like, it's not a trinket that he's carrying. It is, without this sunstone, once you get up into the higher pass, you're going to need that sunstone.
Okay,
they're very, very valuable.
So we're familiar with what those things are. Like, once he says it, we're like, oh, a sunstone. Okay.
Yeah, you may have never seen one, but you've definitely heard of it. You know what it is.
And
well, so what would you like to do?
Well, Varric is. What makes you think it was stolen as opposed to, I don't know, having been dropped in the creek? What?
It was in my pocket. It's the only thing. My only job is to take care of the sunstone. I checked it before I laid my robes down. I folded them and laid them down here. Went into the creek to bathe, and when I came back, my robes were no longer folded, and the sunstone was missing. You must retrieve it. We're going to have to turn back. Favored by Prios or not. If we don't have the sunstone, we have to turn back.
Well, first, please put your robes on before bits start to fall off.
And and he starts shrugging on. Okay, and he starts shrugging on his robes and pulls his hood up.
Varric is going to start looking around and see if he can spot any tracks or any signs that someone has actually been through here other than us.
That's what I was gonna say. Is, are there any muddy footprints or anything that I'm like, oh shit, there really were people other than us?
Well, maybe it's that troll we thought was with us.
Yeah.
His tracks should be pretty easy to spot.
Okay, so you need to. That would be a vigilant check, and it would be with a -1.
Okay.
Do you want to go back up to the camp at all before doing this, or are you just gonna try and find something and get on the trail?
Well, I think just at the first, we're already here. We might as well look.
Yeah,
I rolled a 14, so who knows?
If one of the others wants to run back to camp and tell them what's going on, or take the priest back to camp, that's fine. Varric's going to go ahead while the trail's fresh. Hopefully at least.
Yeah, like I said, I figured while we're here, we at least look and establish, there are or there are not tracks, and then make plans from there.
Yeah.
But
I will say, if anybody, I don't know if any of the three of you have witch sight.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
If you do, you could kind of get a sense of the direction. You could track the sunstone, but it takes witch sight or some mystical power that gives you that kind of connection. But
not just witchcraft, but specifically like a spell or the witch sight.
Well,
talent.
it said what it says is witch sight or some mystical power.
Okay.
I got a 10, so I got exactly what I needed on the vigilance check.
Okay.
I got a 14, so I did not.
And Velcor is he's kind of adept at taking care of things, but he's watched these two. He knows that they're better, so he's being very careful not to muddy up the area with tracks. Let them do their thing.
All right, so yeah, Varric, you actually do find tracks, but it's like whoever. It wasn't just somebody running through the snow. They were actively trying to conceal their tracks as they went. Whether that's by shifting snow behind them as they went, but they're actively trying to disguise their trail. But you pick up on it.
Single file to hide their numbers.
You're a hunter. So.
Well, if it's sand people, they're in trouble.
You do see a trail, and you see the direction it's going off in. Do you follow it, or are you going back up to, what do you do?
I just
need to know what's happening.
So my vote, and Torvar will say this: look, let's take the priest back to the camp, tell them what's going on, maybe grab a couple more guards, and go after these people.
Varric is going to say that if you want to take the priest back to camp, that's a good idea, but this person whoever this is actively covering their tracks, and the further they get ahead of us, the less likely I am to be able to follow them.
Right. Why don't you run after them and don't conceal your tracks, and that'll make it easier for us to follow them.
Let's split up, gang.
Yes, let's split the party in Symbaroum. That can't be a bad idea.
Bad ideas make for good stories if you survive.
If you tuned into Blade 68 Wednesday night, my character made loads of bad choices. My character is a drug-addled explosives expert. So
That's a recipe for it.
There were I wouldn't say mistakes because we got out. Everything was fine in the end. But
that's just dumb luck.
I did some things that I wasn't supposed to do. But Velcor, are you going back up to camp with Torvar and Balatros? Or are you following Varric?
I'm gonna stay with Varric and just kind of stay out of his way, but kind of keep an eye on his 6 for him.
Okay.
To give some backup there.
Yeah, and before he heads out, Varric will point out to Torvar, kind of what to look for as far as these tracks, to give him a little bit better idea of which direction he's headed. Obviously, he should be able to follow Varric's trail, but if for some reason he can't, this is what this person has been doing to try and hide their tracks. And then he's going to set off with Velcor at all speed to try and close the distance on this person, because, like I said, if this obviously wasn't a random. This doesn't seem like this was a random thing. This person had a plan.
Yeah. All right. So Torvar grabs Baltros by the arm and just starts dragging him back up to the camp.
Come with me,
if
priest.
nothing else, to get him next to the fire and get him warmed back up.
Priests don't use those bits very often, but we don't want them to fall off.
I'm not putting salve on those.
Laying hands on that.
I'm not healing that.
No posters for you.
You get back up to the camp and kind of, dragging him along behind you as fast as you can, because time is of the essence. Varric made that pretty clear. What do you do once you get back up into the camp?
So yeah, I will just point at two of the guard that I know, and just say, "You and you, come with me. Someone's stolen the Sunstone."
And Argasto is like, "What? What did you do, Baldros?" And Baldros was like, "I was just bathing in the creek, and somebody grabbed my robes and took the Sunstone out of it." Before you run away, give me a vigilant roll, please.
Okay.
No modifier.
Uh-oh. What happened in camp?
I don't see shit. I got a 16.
Oh, everything looks fine here. I don't know what's going on.
Sound as a pound. Let's go. Let's do this.
I don't know I don't know how this should go in Symbaroum, GM Fiat and all, but yeah, as you grab two guards, they're coming behind you, and Argasto kind of like, what if these guys come? What if it's a group and they come around here? I need my guards in, and you're kind of forceful and want them to come. If we don't get the Sunstone, we're cooked. And you hear Telk off to on the other side of the campfire. You see him standing there, and he's got like a big hunk of venison in his hand, and like fat running down his chin. And he's looking around, and he goes, "Where's Keller?"
And do I know who Keller is?
That was his buddy.
Yeah, he was actually one of the guys you met at the campfire before you did the tryout.
Yeah, that was his buddy that we followed. I think that we followed. We didn't initially know his name, but we followed him to Argasto's tent.
Okay, I remember Telk. I forgot Keller.
And so yeah, he's standing there looking around and like, where did Keller go? Has anybody seen Keller? And that's where we're gonna end the night. It is 9 o'clock, and that's where we said we were gonna call it. Although I don't. Oh well, that was for you, Tim, wasn't it?
What's that?
9 o'clock is when you have to stop.
9 to 9:15, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah, about now.
I couldn't remember if it was Kevin or you, but yeah, 9 works because my wife has to get up and go teach second graders tomorrow.
So does mine. Not second graders though, 7th.
I mean,
that is
managers, so same difference.
I think that was a fairly successful first session. We're learning the rules, and that's probably going to be an ongoing thing. Just simply because this game is so much different than anything else.
And I've given you a lovely opportunity to pick off a couple of characters early.
Establish danger through a couple PC deaths.
So where we pick up in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from tonight, we will join Varric and Velcor as they chase this unknown burglar through the snow.
Nice.
And see what shenanigans they get into, and then we'll see if Torvar can catch up.
Torvar, they become to be known as the lone survivor.
I'll miss you. Tell me, how many Thalar are you carrying again? What kind of equipment am I getting?
And now, this week, playing the Caravan Guard, Chad.
Yeah.
And playing Caravan Guard number 2, Tim. So yeah, I mean, this is fun. As I said at the top, I've been wanting to play or run this game for years now. I'm very excited that we're finally getting into it. For anyone who noticed, yes, we are no longer using alchemy. It did not agree with either my computer or my network, or for whatever reason, I kept dropping stream. It was just too much for my computer to deal with. So we have gone back to Fantasy Grounds, my tried and true, my first love, and running it there, which I've had Symbaroum in Fantasy Grounds for forever, and this is the first time I've gotten to use it. So, but yeah, we will be back in 2 weeks with the continuation of. We're now in chapter 2 of the Promised Land. So this will be the continuation of chapter 2. And tomorrow night we will have Blades in the Dark, run by Jenna. And as I said, she has stated that this is going to be a special event for my birthday, which was last week. She refuses to tell me what is going to happen, so it should be a good time. And then Sunday night we will be back with chapter 2 of Alien: Chariot of the Gods, which we started last evening, and had a great time with that. And it is uploaded onto YouTube now. It is there for you to catch up if you missed it. We had a great time. Had 4 players who have never played the game, and 3 of whom have never seen any of the Aliens films. So they have no idea what they're walking into. But so yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night for Blades. Chad, are you going to play Blades tomorrow night?
I was actually just looking at that. I have some evening work I have to do. I might be able to wrap it up early enough to make it. I was actually just commenting in the Blades channel. If I can wrap it up early enough, yeah, Benny will be along.
All right, cool. If we get enough players, I can sit out and just stream master, and that will ruin Jenna's plans, which would make me happy.
She might hunt me down. I mean, I realize she lives far from here, but still.
So yeah, thank you for hanging out with us, and I hope you enjoyed Symbaroum, and we will be back, as I said, in 2 weeks with part 2. And hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you tomorrow night for Blades in the Dark. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.